What sets the IP apart from independently participating in multiple study abroad programs is the idea of coherence. This means that your IP international experiences should be related in a meaningful way and complement each other. Coherence can be based on language or on academics. What does this mean in practice? Well, two international experiences that take place in locations that share the same language or have related cultures demonstrate the first type of coherence. If you participate in programs that take place in two unrelated countries but are enrolled in study abroad programs or internships that both provide deep insight into your major, then you can make the argument for academic or intellectual coherence. Your IP language also needs to be coherent with your IP international experiences. In most cases, at least one of the terms abroad will be spent in a country that speaks your IP language. If you wish to pursue the language proficiency distinction, it is highly advised that you spend the entire 26 weeks immersed in your linguistic region. Occasionally, it is necessary for students to participate in programs outside of their linguistic region. For example, if you spend both of your terms abroad in English-speaking countries, or if you go to a country that speaks a language not taught at GT, like Sweden, Denmark, or Turkey, you can study any language you choose. IP students generally are not permitted to spend their two terms abroad in countries where the languages are taught at GT but do not match the student's IP language. For example, if your chosen language is German, you would not be advised to spend the two terms abroad in France and Spain. This is designed to encourage you to be able to truly engage with your host culture while abroad. Knowing the host language plays a critical role in your assimilation to the host culture. So, how do you design a coherent plan? The most straightforward way is to spend the two terms abroad in the same country or in two countries that share the same language. For example, Chile and Spain, Germany and the German-speaking part of Switzerland. However, if you are considering going to two different, otherwise unrelated locations, such as Spain and Denmark or China and France, remember that you need to be looking for opportunities that will allow you to study or practice your major in a significant way. On the screen, you will see examples of possibly coherent pathways. You should realize that what may be coherent for one student may not be coherent for another based on their major, IP language, and what their international programs actually focus on. The rationale for coherency is to ensure that IP students are either participating in opportunities that allow them to be immersed in their foreign language or that allow them to focus heavily on their major. For this reason, coherency is a highly individualized concept, and you will be asked by your major's IP faculty representative to present a coherency argument when proposing two programs that seem otherwise incoherent. Your IP faculty representative will then decide whether or not to grant coherency to your proposal. Because there are so many possible combinations of international experiences, you are strongly advised to communicate regularly with your IP advisors in order to be sure that you're planning coherent experiences rather than choosing two programs at random.
In order to make the process of selecting coherent programs easier, we have created major-specific recommended pathways for each major and language combination to showcase program combinations that both add up to 26 weeks and are considered coherent for your major. These can be found on the student page of the IP website. If you choose to pursue programs not on your major's recommended list, you will need to submit a rationale explaining the coherence to your major's IP faculty representative for consideration and approval. You should not commit to international programs until your coherency is approved by your major's IP faculty representative and the IP director. For this reason, it is advised that you discuss your plans with your IP advisor and seek approval for your international experiences well in advance.
So, why does coherency matter? In creating the IP, Georgia Tech wanted to ensure that IP participants were focusing on the depth of their international experiences over breadth. It is our goal that IP participants will come to closely understand another culture rather than gaining brief and limited exposure to multiple cultures. This is rooted in the idea that it takes perseverance, curiosity, critical thinking, cultural self-awareness, and superb intercultural communication skills in order to truly delve into and learn to assimilate to another culture. The act of doing so is extremely beneficial to your personal development and to the development of your own worldview and cultural orientation. Moreover, we believe that by participating in coherent international experiences, you will develop a comparative and global perspective on your major. By viewing your major through another perspective, you can become a more well-rounded engineer, scientist, business person, or other professional. You should also become a more creative problem solver, able to think outside of the box while drawing on your rich experiences from abroad.